Thomas Frank's appointment can save Manchester United star's career. Brentford boss Thomas Frank has emerged as a strong contender for the Man United job should Sir Jim Ratcliffe sack Erik ten Hag. It is becoming obvious that Sir Jim Ratcliffe, if he chooses to sack Erik ten Hag, will be looking at managers with links to Ineos to join Manchester United this summer. Gareth Southgate has been linked previously with the potential vacancy, and Men Sport understands he is on the radar thanks to his bond with incoming sporting director Dan Ashworth. Another new name to be added to the list is Thomas Frank. The Telegraph understands the Brentford manager has become a strong contender to replace ten Hag, with Sir Dave Brailsford an admirer of his work with the London club. While it has to be said the Dane has been successful with the Bees, it is difficult to be inspired by the potential appointment of a manager who has yet to compete at the top of European football. However, one man who would almost certainly welcome his appointment is midfielder Christian Eriksen. As we sit here in mid-May, the 32-year-old has been pushed to the outskirts of the United first team by ten Hag. Between the beginning of February and the middle of April, Eriksen made just one substitute appearance for United in the Premier League, and he has only completed 90 minutes 6 times in the top flight all season. With a year remaining on his contract, it seems almost certain that the former Tottenham man will be leaving Old Trafford in the summer if ten Hag remains in charge. Should Frank join the club, there is a real possibility that Eriksen's career at United and football overall will be reignited. Lest we forget, it was Frank who gave his fellow countryman the lifeline to return to the professional game when he signed Eriksen following his cardiac arrest at the European Championships. Even after the midfielder chose not to extend his stay at Brentford as he pursued a move to United, Frank was still pleased for him, and in February of this year offered the 32-year-old an escape route. He will always be welcome back. Christian will always be, he told Tipsbladed. I think he knows that well. And we know he had a good time here. I understood well why he went to United back then, and I've said that publicly. I also think he's done well. Of course, he had an injury before Christmas for a while. But if Christian wants, he's very welcome. While Eriksen remains at a level to make a difference for Brentford, it is an altogether different proposition starting for United when the club wants to push for the top 4 and more. His involvement would also depend on the likes of Kobbie Mainoo being sacrificed, which seems unlikely considering their respective ages. However, the Danish players last year at United would undoubtedly be more impactful if Frank was brought in, and certainly would not fizzle out like it is currently threatening to. Thomas Frank, a strong contender to join Man United. Manchester United have been linked with a move to appoint Brentford manager Thomas Frank if Erik ten Hag is sacked this summer. Manchester United may consider Brentford boss Thomas Frank to take over from ten Hag in the summer. Frank's impressive work with the Bees has caught the attention of Old Trafford, and he has a relationship with Ineos. The 50-year-old manager, praised by Jurgen Klopp, has helped Brentford establish themselves in the Premier League. Manchester United could be considering a change of manager in the summer, and a report from the Telegraph has suggested that Brentford boss Thomas Frank is now a strong contender to take over at Old Trafford. It's been a disappointing campaign for the Red Devils, who are unable to qualify for the Champions League and may go a season without lifting a trophy. Last term, ten Hag guided United to a top 4 finish while also winning the Carabao Cup, but they've failed to progress this time around. With Ineos arriving earlier in the year, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his team might be looking to start afresh and bring in a new coach. Ten Hag can have no complaints considering the campaign the Manchester outfit have had. Frank now a strong contender for Man United job. He's endured a difficult season with the Bees. The Telegraph have now claimed that Brentford manager Frank is a strong contender to take over from ten Hag in the summer. The work he's done with the Bees is said to have impressed people at Old Trafford, and he has a relationship with Ineos. The Manchester outfit are yet to make a decision on ten Hag, but if they decide to pull the trigger, Frank could be high on their shortlist. The 50-year-old, who plays incredible football according to Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp, has done an excellent job with Brentford. Although they've struggled this season, they've become an established Premier League club under his guidance. Frank has been without his star striker Ivan Toney for a large portion of the campaign, while he's had plenty of injury troubles to deal with. Frank took over Brentford when they were in the Championship, guiding them to the playoffs twice, with the second time being more successful as they gained promotion to the Premier League. Since then, the Bees have often overachieved, finishing 13th and then 9th before the start of this season. Gareth Southgate linked with Man United. Ineos have a strong relationship with the England manager. Reports have suggested that Manchester United have made England manager Gareth Southgate one of their top targets to replace Ten Hag in the summer. There's no agreement between the two parties, but talks are said to be going well with a positive outcome expected quickly. The former Middlesbrough coach will undoubtedly be focusing on the upcoming European Championship tournament at the moment, but he does appear to be an option for United. Although a decision is yet to be made on Ten Hag, Ineos will want a plan in place in case they decide to pull the trigger. Thomas Tuchel agent holds meeting with Bayern Munich as Manchester United stance emerges. Latest Manchester United news and gossip as Thomas Tuchel's agent meets with Bayern Munich chiefs amid links he could replace Erik ten Hag at Old Trafford. An update has emerged on Thomas Tuchel's future at Bayern Munich amid links to Manchester United. Tuchel is set to leave Bayern at the end of the season after a disappointing campaign for the German Giants. Bayern will finish second in the Bundesliga for the first time in more than a decade after losing the title to Bayer Leverkusen. Bayern were also beaten in the semi-final of the Champions League and second round of the DFB Pokal earlier in the season. It was announced in February that Tuchel would be leaving the Bundesliga Giants at the end of the campaign, with a replacement yet to be announced. Recent weeks have seen United linked with potentially hiring Tuchel as their next manager. Erik ten Hag's future at Old Trafford has become the subject of increased speculation throughout the campaign, with suggestions that his future could be in doubt. Amid the links that Tuchel could take over in the Old Trafford dugout this season, an update has emerged from Germany. Photos taken by Sport Bild show Bayern director Christoph Freund meeting Tuchel's agent, Olaf Meinking, at the club's training ground, along with other members of the Bayern board. Tuchel was said to be at the training base leading a session as Bayern prepare to face Hoffenheim in the final match of the season this weekend. The report speculates that the meeting could be centered around Tuchel's future at Bayern, with suggestions that he could remain in charge as manager. It has been claimed that there is still the possibility that Tuchel may perform a U-turn and stay as Bayern manager next season. However, the report does state that Tuchel is at the top of the list for United in the event that Ten Hag does depart this summer. United have failed to secure Champions League football for next season and are in danger of missing out in Europe altogether. The Reds do have the chance to win a major trophy, though, with the FA Cup final against Manchester City later this month. No way should Mauricio Pochettino be next Man United manager. Manchester United pundit and online presenter Mark Goldbridge has had his say on rumours linking Mauricio Pochettino with a move to the club. Mark Goldbridge doesn't want Mauricio Pochettino to replace Erik ten Hag at Manchester United. David Ornstein refused to rule out the Chelsea manager when asked over the weekend. Ten Hag's future is in doubt following United's 14th league defeat of the season on Sunday. Manchester United pundit and online presenter Mark Goldbridge has had his say on rumours linking Mauricio Pochettino with a move to the club this summer. The Argentine manager is currently in the dugout at Chelsea, but all season long there has been widespread speculation that he may move on, or be sacked, in the summer. Similarly, current Old Trafford boss Erik ten Hag's future seems uncertain at best, with reports linking him elsewhere beyond the conclusion of this season. United overhaul is about to kick in. A new face may be wanted to lead the refreshed team. Manchester United's new ownership group INEOS, led by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, are planning sweeping changes this summer both on and off the pitch, with the man in the dugout a huge question to answer before next season kicks off. A recent report from The Telegraph outlined that United are open to selling almost all of their current players, showing the scale of changes planned by the new owners. However, Red Devils fan Goldbridge isn't keen on the idea of the current Chelsea boss being appointed. Keeping it nice and simple, he posted on X to say. However, speculation linking Pochettino with the potential vacancy refuses to go away, with respected journalist David Ornstein furthering highlighting the prospect. Speaking on NBC Sports, he said it is one to watch. If Mauricio Pochettino is to leave, I'm sure there will be a number of vacancies and people looking at him because of his career so far. He's been heavily linked to Manchester United in the past. He met with Ineos about the nice job some time ago, so there are some links there. I'm not saying he's in the frame by any means, but it is just one to watch. Tuchel and Southgate also linked with United job. a former Chelsea manager, ranks highly. Sky Sports have linked Ten Hag with a move to Bayern Munich, as their managerial position is soon to be vacant as Thomas Tuchel is departing at the conclusion of their season. Tuchel, once Chelsea manager, is thought to be one of the favourites for the job and would reportedly be more than happy to take the United job, should the opportunity arise. Since leaving Chelsea, Graham Potter has yet to take up another job, but he may be keen to take the job if possible after he turned down the chance to become the new Ajax manager. His replacement at Brighton, Roberto De Zerbi, could be another contender. Tuchel remains one of two clear favourites for the job, should it open, with current England manager Gareth Southgate tipped to be a leading candidate for the job and has been lauded as a great shout for the job. Despite their relatively poor campaign this season, it seems unthinkable that United will continue in the way that they have been recently. One key factor that may prove crucial should they be looking to attract a new manager is that they may not have any European football for next season, a damning indictment of just how poor they have been this season. With new owners keen to stamp their authority at the club, it seems certain that money will be spent and significant improvements will be targeted both on and off of the pitch.